Welcome to the Practice Autonomy Podcast with Dr. Chris Griffin, your playbook for building an independent, efficient, and profitable dental practice. Each episode, you'll hear proven systems, strategies, and stories that help you protect one main thing as a private practice dentist: your freedom. Now here's your host, Dr. Chris Griffin.
Hey, everybody. Well, I told you that we were going to use some AI, and I'm not lying. So what I've got, if you don't remember from way back, from 2008 to probably nearly 2018, I published a monthly newsletter and I wrote 9,000 to 10,000 words per month. That's way back in the day where those words were just like coming out of my head. I mean, I couldn't do it now if I wanted to, and AI could do it better anyway, right? But what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to take a lot of that information and I'm loading it up in my AI, and I'm telling AI, hey, let's organize it. Let's discuss it. And you guys, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. The AI does probably a better job of explaining my concepts than I do, right? So here we go. We're going to jump in, and it's a two-person podcast, AI related, and they're going to talk about this concept is called the completely utilized workday. That's a concept we taught for many years about how to be so efficient that you didn't waste a second while you were at your actual office. It's a great way to streamline your practice. And let's get on to the podcast.
Welcome to The Deep Dive. We're the place you come to sift through the noise, really get to the core insights, and, well, cut through all that information overload. Today, we're plunging into something that I think hits home for so many of us, especially in demanding jobs. It's that constant quest for, work-life balance, trying to reclaim some personal time. Our source material, it's this really fascinating blog post. It details one professional's journey, kind of an audacious one, to turn a 4-day work week into 3. So our mission today isn't just retelling his story. We want to unpack how he actually navigated this huge shift, and crucially, what lessons his 3-day dentist system, as he calls it, might hold for you listening, anyone looking to seriously optimize their workflow and maybe inject a bit of sanity back into life.
Yeah, and what's really compelling, I think, is that while this system, it came from a dental practice, the principles underneath, they're incredibly universal. We're talking fundamental stuff, efficiency, how you manage your team strategically, and honestly, just rethinking how work is even structured. So we'll be pulling out those insights that you can really apply no matter your field.
Okay, let's get into it then. The source kicks off painting this picture. Very relatable, I found. A professional, loves his work, but just completely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
He talks about feeling pulled in all directions: the office, family, faith, hobbies, staying current with education, community stuff. And it wasn't just him. He mentions looking around at his 10-year reunion and thinking, wow, we all work too much. That feeling resonates, right?
Absolutely. The feeling of being stretched thin is almost universal in professional life today, I think.
So this guy, he's already on a 4-day week, which, let's be honest, sounds pretty good to many people already. But even then, this crazy idea starts bubbling up. What if he could condense it all into 3 days? Now, for a solo practitioner, that sounds, pretty bold. What kind of immediate fears jump out at you in a situation like that?
Oh, yeah. The fiercey lists are spot on. Staff walking out, income just tanking, or like he puts it, his whole world exploding. It's totally understandable. You're weighing this perceived stability, your business, your career, against this really deep human need for more personal time. It's a huge trade-off. And anyone thinking about cutting down days, 5 to 4, 4 to 3, whatever it is, they face that same fear. The risk feels massive.
And it wasn't about greed, right? He just wanted to, quote, buy another day off. Just find some balance.
Yeah.
A powerful motivator. So he didn't just jump in. No impulsive trigger pulling here. His logical professional side took over. Research first. A scientific approach, really. He started by building his own capacity. Which makes sense, right? Took all the classes I could find, achieved his fellowship in the AGD, it's a big deal in dentistry, before he even hit 30.
Right, and that wasn't just about collecting credentials. It was strategic. Mastering those advanced skills meant he could do more of the, let's say, profitable procedures himself. Things like complex crowns, root canals, stuff that often gets referred out.
Oh, okay.
So by keeping those in-house, he wasn't just improving his skills, he was boosting the practice's bottom line and reducing dependency on others, like bringing a core function back inside the business.
That makes a lot of sense. And then this part's really interesting. He didn't just study books. He went out and found the best dentists, visited their offices, looking for those little jewels of efficiency. He got particularly deep into Scott Perkins's methods for streamlining procedures, so much so that Perkins eventually asked him to lecture and assist at workshops.
Which really speaks volumes, doesn't it? It shows that level of dedication, actively seeking out mentors, mastering a niche, and then becoming recognized for it.
And he shares this funny story, very human moment, from his first lecture with Perkins, terrified apparently, first time speaking, and in the audience, dental superstars, like the big names, Howard Farron. Imagine the pressure.
Oh, wow.
He says he looked out while explaining his research, and Howard Farron was just dead asleep.
Oh, no.
But then, as soon as he finished, Howard jumps up and clapped harder than anyone in the room. It's just a great little detail, that validation after the fear.
That's brilliant. It really captures that journey of pushing your boundaries.
So when you think about that level of commitment, the studying, the mentoring, mastering efficiency,
Yeah.
what does that tell us? What's the absolute must-have before trying to drop a workday?
It tells us, plain and simple, efficiency is key if you want to drop a day without losing income. That's the bedrock. You can't just, cut your hours and hope for the best. You have to fundamentally change how you work, optimize everything, boost your skills constantly.
Yeah, and he's pretty blunt about it. He says you cannot be one of those professionals who enjoy doing a simple task for one solid hour, undisturbed, and then go back to your private office and surf the internet.
Right. No coasting allowed in this model.
Exactly. Every moment in those 3 days has to count. Maximum utilization. Okay, so he's got the personal efficiency down. Then he boils the whole strategy down to these 3 secret truths to follow. He says they're imperative for success. First one, motivated staff. His take. Easiest way is pay good people a lot of money. Bonuses, specifically, while keeping an eye on the overall salary percentage, of course.
Mm-hmm. Paying well is definitely a motivator, but he also makes that critical point. You can't pay a bad worker enough to make them a good worker.
So true.
So the hiring process is crucial before you even think about bonuses. Get the right people on the bus first.
Good point. Okay, second truth. An effective dentist, or
Right.
effective professional, really. This is more than just being efficient, right?
Yeah, effectiveness here means, as he puts it, you accomplish your purpose no matter what obstacles are thrown in his way. It's about resilience,
Yeah.
adaptability. You hit a snag, you solve it. You don't let roadblocks derail the entire day or the goal. It's about that grit.
Got it. And the third truth, CUW, stands for completely utilized workday.
That sounds intense. What does completely utilized really mean in practice? Is it just being busy?
Not just busy, no. It's intentional busyness. Every minute, every action is directed towards a specific valuable purpose. It's about stripping out the wasted time, the inefficient processes, laser focus on what actually moves the needle.
Okay, in this CUW thing, he breaks it down further into 5 parts, an acronym, SPOTS. This feels like the real nuts and bolts of the system.
Yeah, definitely. This is the framework. So let's quickly run through SPOTS is for schedule. And crucially, having enough work to fill those intense days.
That's critical. You build this high-speed engine, you need the fuel. You need the demand to justify the pace. Otherwise, the efficiency is pointless.
Makes sense. Okay, P is procedure. Basically, streamlining how you do the work. Breaking down tasks, cutting bottlenecks, optimizing the workflow itself, like lean manufacturing for your profession.
Precisely. Every step analyzed and improved.
OGI is organization. Tidy workspace, clear digital files, everything easily accessible, no time wasted searching, just smooth, focused action.
Foundational. Chaos kills efficiency.
T is teamwork. Everyone knows their role, supports each other, seamless collaboration, especially vital when you're moving fast in a condensed time frame. A well-oiled machine.
Absolutely essential. Communication, delegation, shared goals.
And finally, S is systems. Repeatable processes, checklists, standard operating procedures, ensuring consistency and quality no matter who's doing the task.
The operational backbone. Make success repeatable and scalable.
But you mentioned something earlier, fixing one spot can create issues elsewhere.
Yes, exactly. The author points this out. You crank up the schedule, bring in way more patients. Well, suddenly your team might be drowning in admin, or your systems for follow-up can't cope. So it requires this constant recalibration. Optimization isn't a one-and-done thing. It's this ongoing process of tweaking and adjusting the whole system.
Right, always fine-tuning. Okay, so that leads perfectly into the next challenge he faced. With these 3 super intense, efficient days, the staff did start falling behind on admin and organizational stuff. And you can't have that, right? A sloppy office, piles of paperwork, things falling through the cracks. It totally undermines the high-performance clinical days.
It erodes the whole system and probably morale, too.
So his solution, I thought this was quite brilliant, actually, he calls it. And on the fourth day, the staff made it perfect. Again, what does that mean? On day 4, the staff comes in for a half day, but, and this is key, without the interruptions of seeing patients.
Ah, dedicated time.
Exactly. Uninterrupted time just to catch up on everything. Admin, organizing, prepping for the next week, making sure the office is perfect again. It's like a reset button.
That is a clever hack. It turns that potential overflow problem into a scheduled strategic advantage.
Yeah.
But it puts a lot of faith in the team, doesn't it?
It does. And he adds a big warning here. Staff members must be excellent and disciplined.
That's the critical piece.
To accomplish all their specific goals and tasks on this special day. So it only works if you have a really strong, focused, accountable team.
Absolutely. Without that discipline and clear goals for that half day, it could easily just become, well, not very productive. The system relies heavily on the quality and commitment of the people.
So ultimately, he concludes, the 3-day office must have good teamwork and camaraderie. It's not just mechanics, it's the human element that holds it all together.
Couldn't agree more. Culture and collaboration are paramount in such a high-intensity model.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for you listening? This dive into the 3-day dentist system really lays out a blueprint. It's built on 1, intense personal efficiency, 2, a really motivated, empowered team, and 3, these discipline systems like ESPIS-OTS. And it's not just for dentists, is it?
Not at all. It's about structuring work strategically, whether your goal is peak productivity or maybe reclaiming that personal day.
Right. The author found his extra day off. That was his goal.
But he does point out, you could use these exact same principles to just make a ton of money working the same hours, or maybe even more, just way more effectively. So it really puts a choice in front of you, doesn't it? If you optimize like this, what would you prioritize? Buying back time, maximizing income, or finding some new blend?
That's the question to ponder. Thinking about your own work. Where could you apply this idea of a completely utilized workday? Where's the slack? Could you rethink your team structure? Maybe introduce some kind of dedicated, uninterrupted time for deep work or admin catch-up, that 4th-day concept. How could you make your own office, whatever that looks like for you, perfect for the week ahead? Thinking about that might just change your whole work-life equation. Lots to think about there. That's all for this deep dive. We hope we've sparked some ideas, maybe even inspired a look at your own professional life. Until next time.
Well, I just really couldn't have said it better myself, right? I thought they were pretty good. They were really good and concise about everything. So bravo to the deep dive team, and thanks for helping me out. Just like they said, we really did fight to not waste a single second in our practice. For many years, we did it that way, and it's a great way to build your practice. Especially, look, when you're right out of school or right out of your residency or you're coming out of an associateship or a DSO, you may not have all the skills. While you're building your skill set, it's outstanding to do that concept on regular type dentistry. And you can still have an outstanding independent practice just doing what we would call regular dentistry while you're adding your skill set. So yeah, bravo. They did a great job explaining it. And remember, like, subscribe, all that stuff. It'll keep showing up in your feed. We appreciate it. But also, if you want to join the Facebook group, it's Solo and Private Dentists. That's it. That's on Facebook, the group. And it's just dentists, right? It's just us. No staff members, no people that own corporations, none of that, no vendors, nothing. Just dentists. There's about 3,000 of us now. We'd love to see the community grow, and we'd love to have you with us. Okay. Well, thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time.